to the full moon. You are possessed not by me alone, not by all. Yet, while you are everyone's, you remain mine. Your face is quiet, yet, reaching out to you, I detect ripples lapping at the edges. In you, O moon, I've come to see flawless beauty in this world. Let me count the days that I still may see you in this life. To the full moon. Standing in your presence, I'm ever dumbfounded. As loving hearts wax, lost are their words. As you, O moon, flawlessly wax, I'm overwhelmed. I flutter even as a ray of your light strikes me from across the ocean. As your tender and silent light shines over us, so do I wish to rise and shine high over the hearts of all lovers after I leave this mortal life. Day from a sickbed. He who is ill turns into a lonely island whenever he lies in bed. Lying sick in bed all day long, I suddenly miss my mundane, busy steps and recklessly envy my neighbor's laughter. Like a light grass on the water, a light word comforting me never takes root, but only floats off. Still, I'm tempted to simply hold on to it. My pain may seem nothing special to others, yet it makes me feel death nearer than life, lying alone on a solitary, deserted island. I will never collapse, only enduring lonesome pain with the song. I'll come to be generous, for once embracing life itself and learning to love humbly. A sorrowful days later. A certain unidentifiable sorrow remains embedded within my heart, like a white shell on a sandy beach. So deep and firmly rooted is the sorrow that neither my tears soothe nor your warm words comfort. As I cannot enter into another's deep sorrow, no one can come into mine. I can only simply accept it. Staying alone in my sorrow is a real comfort and a prayer. Hardly do I know when I came to realize that sorrow is healed only by sorrow. My beloved, even though you feel constrained now, just watch me from afar and wait for a while longer. Forgive my absurd pleas as I endlessly go through the protest of asking your forgiveness, yet avoid meeting you eye to eye, even at a distance, for no valid reason. When I pray, my heart moves. When I pray, my heart comes to the sea. Though my words are as polished as shells tossed about in the waves along the white sandy beach, my God shines upon me at the end of the horizon as I offer anew my thanks and praise. When I pray, my heart becomes heaven. The words of sorrow and remorse turn into rain, and the words of joy and love turn into piles of snow. From time to time, fear momentarily passes by as it thunders and hails, and from time to time, delight flits by as a cloud or the glow of evening. The heaven of my prayer quietly shines, Yonder the sun, the moon, and the stars rise, and so also my faith, my hope, and my love. When I pray, my heart comes to the forest. In the forest, I stand as green as a pine and as honest as a straight bamboo. In the forest, I stand as a flower, from time to time bearing passionate words as from the red royal azalea, and from time to time bearing pure words as from the white balloon flower. Standing in the forest of my prayer, where no despair is known throughout the seasons, I see my ever-living God wearing a green smile. A prayer on Good Friday. Grant me today that I may call upon you with the deepest and lowest voice. May I weep over the darkness embedded within Mary's grieving heart, encountering your unavoidable departure for the sake of even more souls. May I also prostrate myself before you in deep humility, just as Peter bitterly wailed over his betrayal. O Lord of love, you overpowered death by drinking the bitter cup of death. May I not boast of imprudent love without imitating you. May I be a somber point in the darkness, lying within the stone tomb today, together with those deeply despairing souls who loved you so deeply. May I be a bright point in the darkness, for having fallen asleep with you, I shall awaken with you, O Lord of light. Like sewing on a button. Sewing the old button onto its former place, I see the lovely sun shining, smiling gently on my hand. Onto the new dress named today, what kind of button do I sew? Even exchanging my clothes endlessly for new ones, life remains but a series of ordinary affairs, like sewing old buttons onto their former places. So shall I live in my proper place, as if I were sewing on a button with ever stronger thread. While no one watches me at the moment, I sew on a button and remind myself, my life is forever meaningful. Oddly, the happiness that was so far away now stands near and smiles at me. The look of love changes like a tree. Even the look of love changes with the seasons like a tree. Spring brings hope with its light green buds that burst forth in one's heart. Summer brings a dazzling brilliance with green words fully poured out of its leaves to make everybody a poet while the sun is overhead. Autumn brings fulfillment with the fruit brought forth in its extreme beauty, having painfully forsaken all else. Winter brings endurance with silent waiting, standing alone with its feet in the snow. Doesn't the look of love change like a tree? Oh, my tree, my love, pretending to be composed with closed eyes, today you secretly cast off the weight of yearnings, just as the wind blows. Swinging. Love is like riding a swing. Together with you, I soar into the air. With the steadfast movements of our earthly lives, we inch forward, farther and farther. In the hectic pace of movements, our love ever yearns for more time. Higher and higher I wish to climb. As I heave my heels with a surge of yearning, the sky turns pale and tinges my heart. A seabird. I've come to the sea, unable to give my heart to anyone, anywhere on this earth. I've come all the way over here, desiring neither to see nor to hear of many things. I've just come alone, not desiring to speak many words. Ah, how shall I describe the flame within my little heart that has never been noticed? I've come to the sea, desiring to refresh myself while sitting calmly on the water. I've come to the sea, desiring to live as fresh as arrows washed in the waves, as is seaweed. At the sea again. When I was 16, I met the sea for the first time with tears of joy. With its salty water, the sea kept me from decaying and filled my small soul, as did my mother, with the waves coming to me at night, even while I slept. Today I hear again the profound words of waves silently moving as prayers, binding me to the horizon. Even lying low and fully containing the high sky, the sea, without even pausing for an instant, reads the heavenly letter to me and promises me eternity. Thus, the blue sea becomes both priest and poet, unforgettable even unto my death. You, O wave, are you a home for the never-sleeping wind, even when you are placid? You, O wave, you rise up like a mountain and raise up my once dead dreams to life. Even today, I'm dumbfounded. You reflect the serene countenance of God, even while stirred up. Even in the deepest agony, you are compelled to love unceasingly. O wave, even though you're placid, will you someday rise, enfolding me in your bosom, as if you were my God? I ran to the sea. When I encountered my first love, I ran to the sea and found her waving a warm smile like my sister in an azure gown. When I encountered my first sorrow, I ran to the sea and found her wailing loudly from her depths like my brother in broken love. When I later encountered my first parting, I ran to the sea and found her opening her bountiful bosom, like my mother wearing her flowing indigo skirt. When at last I encountered my first prayer, I ran to the sea and found her expressing the vigorous countenance of God, like a silver fish leaping over the waves. Kindle my spirit. When shall I come to flower before your presence? You, O wind of evening glow, blowing as you like, grant me your burning gaze and breath. Then the bud concealing my pent-up pains will quietly burst. I so desire to leave my secretive heart open with anxious expectation. You, O wind of grace, perceive my frail pistil's thin veneer of sorrow. You evoke my trembling yes as I quake before your presence as if in the eyes of March. You, O wind of fire, kindle my spirit and quietly bring it to flower. Countenance of time. At dawn, time celebrates the creation in the name of God, like a priest in white vestments, and that old acquaintance, time, takes on a new countenance. I discover anew the endless ebb and flow of time. In due time, I too shall be reborn. When awake, I receive time coming to me as glittering crystals of salt, having completed its spiritual disciplines at the salt works. It comes to me as a crystal wearing a bright smile, sustaining me while I am awake. Looking up to the stars. In the night, I look up to the stars till my neck aches, and I see them again even in my dreams. As I look up to the twinkling stars, the sparkling joys pour down and fill my heart. Living together among friends, the stars know how to be alone. Looking calm in prayer, the stars keep each other in place. I desire to live as the stars. Though their faces look so small, their hearts are great and abounding, shining on people far away. So the stars remain as my heavenly friends. Day after day, I desire to live as the stars, with a beautiful and sparkling heart. Though I rise as a half-moon today, life is tinged by the wind, standing like the solitary tip of a frozen branch that hangs on a naked tree. Though I rise as a half-moon today in your empty sky, my light shall grow ever brighter. Even hiding in the clouds, the moonlight becomes a tender sister, wearing an eternal smile. In my courtyard, as it's filled with a cold wind, not a leaf remains. Yet my heart burns on this winter day. Although it appears lonely, the moon remains rich with its ever-present light. You, O waning winter moon, your light, so high and clear, ripples earthward. The bridge. Having crossed over the bridge, one may readily forget the sorrows of those who have yet to cross it. With each busy step, everyone is rushed, for they must cross it. While I live, someday my turn will come. The river of the warm wish alluded to this. The bridge lying long under the dark skies counts the stars, and suddenly it loudly coughs at me while I'm standing at the distant edge of the river, as if something suddenly flashed across its mind. So, the ups and downs of another weary day are ironed out. Crossing over the bridge of dreams that pacifies the demanding pilgrim, your deep shadow lies waiting for me. Spring letter. Come along with the wind, concealing yourself in the white seas of dandelions. Come along with the wild flowers, coughing gently in unknown grass thickets. Come along with the water flowing beneath snow-covered rivers. Come along with the songs of the light green mountain birds with their pretty beaks. Every year, spring comes alive and invisibly enters my heart. With azaleas bearing buzz, my yearning painfully swells. Come to me, O spring, and burst into bloom without words. In the forest of June. I walk into the forest embracing the green hope. Even before I'm aware of it, a cuckoo sings its song. Even before I'm aware of it, an acacia emits its fragrance. Even before I'm aware of it, love is there waiting for me. As the green hope dazzles and the fragrance stimulates, so shall I be born anew. As I stand in the forest of June, you call me ever nearer. Then you will send me to a more distant place. Autumn Letters. Happy as I am, I suppress my excitement and display my happiness in the least. Sorrowful as I am, I suppress my tears and display my sorrow in the least. In this autumn time, I bear all things and still my soul. Thus, never will I lose you due to my arrogance. My desire is to live more free, more natural, and less burdened, as a tree sheds its leaves without regret. I'm enlightened. I must climb over several low hills to reach the high mountain top. I must cross several small rivers to arrive at the great ocean. And burdensome as they are, I must bear life's trivialities with all my soul to reach the true depths of life. Winter Song of Songs. I shall love you as a mute winter tree coughing in a blizzard. I shall endure the long days of expectation, turning snow without into wintry beauty and wisdom, within into warmth. Though I may be an unknown martyr someday, pouring out pure blood and lying fallen by a snowslide, I shall hold the pain of love in my feeble arms without regret. O winter tree, you nourish the spring in each fork, unlading the weight of all your leaves. So shall I live someday, unlading the weight of my endless yearnings on earth. Thus, I shall come to the country where you, as a pure snowman, wait for me with continuous singing. Winter Song of Songs. With the snow-white cabbage hearts in the clean smell of December, we prepare for the coming winter. For the sake of speaking truthfully even one word, we forget days gone by with their many empty words. Sometimes our love turns to garlic or to onion or to ginger. To love another means we first must be broken. We must remember this. Not many days remain for us to be together. Bearing ourselves wholly as kimchi jars stored in the ground, we stand gazing up into the sky. Ever lonely, we shall maintain some distance. As kimchi gains its authentic flavor with the freezing winter days, so does our love gain its real savor. Likewise, we learn how to wait with patience. The Island, My Mother. Island mother, call me to yourself, for I hang around the mainland laden with many worries. Mother, you are the oldest island in the ocean of my yearnings, deepened by time and tide. You met the moon and the nymph in your dreams and bore me into the world when you were 33. I hear your lonesome coughing even from 1,000 miles away, as if nearby. While apart, no words are uttered, yet the wind and the waves pour them out for us, even in dazzling solitude. Mother Island, you are the rock formed from tears shed out of your patience. Over you, the sky is so clear. There, I first learned to pray and still dream to be a bird flying high into the sky.